There is no Book of Mormon without the Bible. We're going to prove that in this series. Stick around. Chapter 2. For behold, it came to pass, the Lord spake unto my father, yea, even in a dream, and said unto him, Blessed art thou, Lehi, because of the things which thou hast done, and because thou hast been faithful, and declared unto this people the things which I commanded thee. Behold, they seek to take away thy life. And it came to pass, the Lord commanded my father, even in a dream, that he should take his family and depart into the wilderness. And it came to pass, he was obedient unto the word of the Lord, therefore he did as the Lord commanded him. The story goes on to say they departed and left for about 3 days. They got 3 days away from there. Everyone in the family was pretty angry about it. The older boys hated the idea of what was going on. For behold, they did murmur many things against their father, because he was a visionary man, and had led them out of the land of Jerusalem, to leave the land of their inheritance, and their gold and silver and their precious things to perish in the wilderness. And this they said he had done because of the foolish imaginations of his heart. And it came to pass that I, Nephi, being exceedingly young, nevertheless being large in stature, and also having great desires to know the mysteries of God, wherefore I did cry unto the Lord, and behold, he did visit me, and did soften my heart, that I did believe all the words which had been spoken by my father. Wherefore I did not rebel against him like unto my brothers. He says he spoke to his brother Sam, and Sam believed him. He just decided to trust Nephi and trust the Lord spoke to him as well. He tries to speak to Laman and Lemuel, and they just did not care. They hardened their hearts, and they left him alone. He says, And the Lord spake unto me, saying, Blessed art thou, Nephi, because of thy faith, for thou hast sought me diligently with lowliness in heart. And inasmuch as ye shall keep my commandments, ye shall prosper in the land of promise. There we go. We get this first time where we're told about the commandments. What happens when you keep the commandments? You prosper in the land. It doesn't say anything about salvation. It talks about prospering if you keep my commandments. Inasmuch if thy brethren shall rebel against me, they shall be cut off from the presence of the Lord. Keep this in mind. This is chapter 2. Right in the beginning, this is the promise of the Lord. Then we get into chapter 3, and Lehi is commanded in a dream to send his boys back to get a set of brass plates. The older boys think it's impossible and they can't do it. Nephi says, I will go and do it because the Lord does not give commandments that we cannot keep. Look, then the story goes on to tell how they tried to do it. They cast lots. Laban, the oldest, wins, and he has to go and try and ask Laban for the plates. Then Laban gets angry about it and casts him out. Laban comes back, tells them this isn't possible. So Nephi decides, hey, let's go take all our possessions and buy the plates from him. So they try to buy the plates of brass, and this is what it says in verse 25. And it came to pass when Laban saw our property that it was exceedingly great, he did lust after it, insomuch that he thrust us out and sent his servants to slay us, that he might obtain our property. It came to pass we did flee before the servants of Laban, and we were obliged to leave behind our property, and it fell into the hands of Laban. And it came to pass we fled into the wilderness, and the servants of Laban did not overtake us, and we hid ourselves in the cavity of a rock. And it came to pass Laman was angry with me, and also my father, and also was Lemuel, for he had hearkened unto the words of Laman. Wherefore Laman and Lemuel did speak many hard words unto us, their younger brothers, and they did smite us even with a rod. And it came to pass, as they smote us with a rod, behold, an angel of the Lord came and stood before them, and he spake unto them, saying, Why do you smite your younger brother with a rod? Know you not the Lord has chosen him to be a ruler over you, and this because of your iniquities? Behold, ye shall go up to Jerusalem again, and the Lord will deliver Laban into your hands. And after the angel had spoken unto us, he departed. And after the angel had departed, Laman and Lemuel again began to murmur, saying, How is it possible that the Lord will deliver Laban into our hands? Behold, he is a mighty man, and can command 50, yea, even he can slay 50, then why not us? We get into chapter 4, and Nephi says he's going to have faith, and he's going to go forward and do it. He starts to quote the Bible. Interesting. Let us be strong like unto Moses, for he truly spake unto the waters of the Red Sea, and they divided hither and thither, and our fathers came through out of captivity on dry ground, and the armies of the Pharaoh did follow and were drowned in the Red Sea. The story goes on to say that Nephi went in, he couldn't he didn't know where he was going, and he ended up finding a guy in the road by himself, drunk and passed out. He realized it was Laban. And I beheld his sword, and drew it forth from the sheath thereof. And it came to pass I was constrained by the Spirit that I should kill Laban. But I said in my heart, never at any time have I shed the blood of a man. And I shrunk, and I would that I might not have slay him. But the Spirit said unto me, behold, the Lord hath delivered him into thy hands. Yea, and I also knew that he had sought to take away mine own life. Yea, and he would not hearken unto the commandments of the Lord, and he had also taken away our property. And it came to pass, the Spirit said unto me again, slay him, for the Lord hath delivered him into thy hands. Behold, the Lord slayeth the wicked to bring forth his righteous purposes. It is better that one man should perish than that a nation should dwindle and perish in unbelief. And now when I, Nephi, had heard these words, I remembered the words of the Lord which he spake unto me in the wilderness, saying that inasmuch as ye shall keep my commandments, they shall prosper in the land. Yea, I also thought that they could not keep the commandments of the Lord according to the law of Moses, save they should have the law. And I knew the law was engraven on the plates of brass. What do we call that? The Bible. So he slays him, takes his clothes, and then goes to the place where the brass plates are kept. And a man there named Zoram helps him get the plates, and they leave. They run into his brothers outside the wall, and Zoram finds out that he's not really Laban, and he decides to run. Nephi then tackles him, holds him down, and says, dude, don't go back. Come with us. You will be a free man in this new world. And he decides to go with them. So they get the plates, Zoram joins them, and then they travel back to their family.